There are moments in golf that don't look historic at first. No trophy lifted. No wild celebration. No perfect Hollywood ending. Just one number on a scorecard. One shot. And, somehow, that one shot says everything. That's why so many golf fans were glued to this Charlie Woods story. Because this wasn't just about a famous last name. It wasn't just about Tiger's son being on a leaderboard or being close to something big. It was about that brutal, beautiful truth every golfer understands better than anyone else. Sometimes your entire day, your entire momentum, even the way people talk about you, comes down to one swing. And Charlie was right there. One shot away. One shot away from changing the conversation. One shot away from a breakthrough people would have talked about for weeks. One shot away from forcing even the doubters to stop, look again, and admit this kid might be dealing with pressure most golfers could never survive. And what makes this even more powerful is that the closer you look at it, the more emotional it becomes. Because by the end of this story, you realize this wasn't really about one shot at all. It was about what that one shot revealed. If you truly love golf, if this game means something to you, and if you enjoy stories like this that remind us why golf hits so deep, then subscribe and become part of this golf family. This channel is for the fans who feel every swing, every miss, and every moment that makes this game unforgettable. Charlie Woods has probably lived a golf life unlike anyone his age. Think about it. Most young players get to grow quietly. They get to hit bad shots without cameras in their face. They get to figure out who they are as golfers before the world starts judging them. Charlie never had that luxury. From the moment people saw the name on the bag, the expectations were already insane. Some viewers wanted to see greatness immediately. Others were just waiting for him to fail. And that's what makes every round he plays feel different from a normal junior golf story. It's not just golf. It's pressure layered on top of pressure. But on this day, or in this moment, something felt different. This wasn't just a kid trying to survive the spotlight. This felt like a player starting to compete inside it. The swings looked more settled. The confidence looked more real. The body language wasn't screaming panic. It looked like Charlie was beginning to understand something every talented young golfer has to learn at some point. You can't play the crowd, and you can't play the name. You can only play the shot in front of you. And for a while, he did exactly that. That's what made fans lean in. Because once a golfer gets close, really close, everything changes. The air changes. The pace changes. The silence gets louder. A round that started as, let's see how he does, suddenly turns into, wait, is this actually happening? But here's the part nobody talks about. Being one shot away in golf is not the same as being one play away in other sports. In golf, one shot can hide inside 10 little moments. One bad club choice. One iron that flies a yard too long. One putt that catches the edge and refuses to fall. One tiny lapse in focus. One heartbeat too fast. That's why this story hit so many fans emotionally. Because golfers don't hear one shot and think small. They hear it and think of all the pain packed inside those two words. And Charlie, fair or unfair, was carrying more than his own score. He was carrying the curiosity of the entire golf world. Every clean strike got people excited. Every mistake got magnified. Every reaction got analyzed. That is a brutal way to grow up in the game. Still, what stood out most was not perfection. It was how long he stayed in the fight. That matters. A lot of young players can look good when nothing is on the line. It's different when the round starts tightening. It's different when people around you start realizing you're close. It's different when you know one birdie changes everything and one mistake follows you all the way home. And this is where everything changed. Because the closer Charlie got, the less this became about hype, and the more it became about reality. Golf fans know the difference. Hype is loud. Reality has weight. Reality is when the score is there. Reality is when the holes are running out. Reality is when the safe swing suddenly feels dangerous because now there's actually something to lose. That's when you see whether a player is just talented or whether he's beginning to build the emotional control this game demands. Charlie being one shot away told us something important. It told us that, at least for that stretch, he was doing real competitive work. Not internet work. Not famous last name work. Real golf work. And that's why fans couldn't believe it. Not because they think Charlie should already be Tiger. Not because anyone reasonable expects that. But because even getting close while carrying that name is hard to comprehend. The Woods name might open attention. It does not open fairways. It does not calm nerves. It does not hold 6-foot par putts. It does not save you from pressure. In some ways, it probably adds pressure no young golfer should ever have. Wait till you hear what really makes this moment powerful. It's that a near miss can sometimes reveal more than a win. Wins are easy to celebrate. They come with smiles, headlines, and clean narratives. But near misses? Near misses expose everything. Your patience, your discipline, your emotional control, your ability to respond after a mistake, your ability to keep believing when you know how much is at stake. And for Charlie, that may be the most important part of the whole story. How did he carry himself when things got tight? Did the rhythm fall apart? Did the confidence disappear? Did the round unravel the moment the pressure kicked in? That's what serious golf fans were watching. Because if the answer is no, if he stayed composed, if he kept battling, if he showed signs of real growth, then being one shot away is not a heartbreak alone. It's evidence. Evidence that something is forming. Evidence that the talent is being shaped under fire. Evidence that maybe this journey is becoming more real than many people expected. And let's be honest, that's a hard thing not to admire. Even if you're skeptical, even if you're cautious, even if you think the media rushes too fast, golf has a way of humbling everyone. And that's exactly why moments like this earn respect. Charlie doesn't get a shortcut through this sport. He doesn't get honorary birdies because of his last name. If anything, he gets a harder road. Every result becomes a headline. Every miss becomes a debate. Every improvement gets compared to one of the greatest players who ever lived. That's not normal. That's not fair. But it is real. And this is where the story gets bigger than Charlie Woods. Because every golfer watching could feel something familiar in it. Who hasn't been one shot away from something? One putt away from your best round. One up and down away from winning the match. One clean finish away from proving to yourself that all the practice meant something. That's why golf fans connected with this so strongly. Not because Charlie is famous. Because golf is cruel. Because golf is honest. Because golf lets you get close enough to dream before asking one more question. Can you do it now? That question has broken hearts for generations. And it's the same question that makes this game addictive. Charlie's moment reminded people of that. It reminded fans that behind the cameras and the headlines is still a young golfer trying to answer the same question every player answers. Can I trust my swing? Can I handle this pressure? Can I stay patient when the finish line is right there? But then came the emotional twist nobody can ignore. For a lot of fans, the one-shot gap didn't feel like proof that he fell short. It felt like proof that he belongs in the conversation. Not the final conversation. Not the crowning the next star conversation. Let's be smart about this. Golf development takes time. There will be setbacks. There will be rough rounds. There will be days when the swing looks great and the score doesn't. That's golf. That's real. That's what makes the journey believable. But being one shot away matters because it gives shape to hope. Not fake hope. Not fantasy. Real hope. The kind of hope built on signs. Composure under pressure. Better decision-making. Competitive patience. A growing ability to stay present in meaningful moments. Those are the things that eventually lead to bigger results. And serious golf fans know this better than anyone. Breakthroughs rarely arrive out of nowhere. Usually, they whisper before they roar. A close call. A tougher finish. A steadier round. A moment where the player looks different, stronger, more ready. Then one day, the result catches up. And maybe that's exactly why this story won't be forgotten quickly. Because one shot can either haunt you or teach you. It can make you tighter next time. Or it can make you wiser. It can become the reason you doubt yourself. Or the reason you work with more purpose than ever. For Charlie Woods, that's the real question now. Not whether he was close. We know he was close. The real question is what that closeness does to a young player carrying one of the heaviest names in sports. Does it become frustration? Or fuel? Does it become pressure? Or proof? And if you love golf, you know the answer may define everything that comes next. That's why this matters. Because this was never just a scoreboard story. It was a human story. A golf story. The kind of story only this sport can tell so well. A player stands right on the edge of something meaningful, and instead of giving him certainty, golf gives him one last lesson. One shot. That's the distance between doubt and belief. Between almost and remember when. Between being watched and being respected. And sometimes, strangely enough, that one shot becomes the beginning. This is why stories like this matter. They remind us that golf is not only about trophies. It's about growth you can't fake, pressure you can't hide from, and moments that reveal who a player is becoming before the whole world fully sees it. So now I want to ask you, what impressed you more? How close Charlie Woods got, or what it says about his future under this kind of pressure? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Stay with this channel for more golf stories that actually mean something. And if you love this game the way real fans do, subscribe and be